You think that should be a pretty high priority, do ya?
And then you see the Jack span on blue side, and you're like,
interesting.
I'm sensing something here, but that is going to be a Twisted Fate hovered here at the moment for Xiaohu, giving him more power to get around the map. Certainly sounds like a good idea if you're an RNG fan, but there are some options still available. Of course, Diana Yasuo comes to mind, but Silas is still up and available for Jojo to play as well.
And I do love this for RNG to pick Gala the Ezreal, both because I think Ezreal right now should be super highly prioritized. Incredibly powerful right now. Doesn't even have to build a Mythic, but it also allows the Twisted Fate to, again, focus on Bin. And RNG at MSI is one of the unique teams that really focuses on the top side of the map, on top lane. Ming goes up there more than any other support. Also, Wei goes up there a significant amount. And again, we get another round of the bounce house as you were hoping for. The Diana Yasuo is locked in for Inspired and Jojo as well. I mean, anytime you see the Twisted Fate, you're not going to be too surprised because that's the combo where Yasuo is both a good lane matchup versus Twisted Fate, win wall so effective, but also you love having those synergies to combine for the later team fights.
I do like the fact that RNG have True Shot Barrage. You can often bait out a wind wall with things like True Shot Barrage. So is
it bait if like that's super effective? Because True Shot Barrage does so much damage with the build style with Murmur.
It's either you put your wind wall on cooldown or you take most of your health bar in damage.
You're like,
this is not a great trade-off.
Is it baited out or is that actually just forced out?
I don't know. But it's also on an extraordinarily low cooldown, so it's a bit silly. That is going to be Gangplank locked in though for Bin, certainly a favorite of his, and doesn't care about wind wall because it comes from the sky, the cannon barrage, you know?
Bin and Gangplank. A tale as old as MSI itself, with the giant barrel explosions of death, the literal one-shots from this man. I am definitely excited with the state that Gangplank's in right now too. It's pretty rare to get your hands on it.
And this is like the beginnings of an inflation draft as well, right? Because you're making so much extra money. You're shooting people with the Gangplank and getting all the money from the TF.
It's both accurate and applicable to the current economic.
I didn't really want to talk about the current economic situation that's going on right now, but it worked out.
You're a well-traveled, worldly man, you know, Atlus.
That is
bringing current economics into it, as well as gold-generating passives of Twisted Fate and Gangplank.
There we go. I like to make sure that we keep it topical here on the MSI desk, Kobe, as you know.
Truly. The Jhin locked in here for a bit of immunity on their side as well. You know, usually Jhin and Gwen highlighted as some of the most frustrating abilities for team fighting in the game. But
yeah, there's a fair bit of immunity that goes on there, isn't there?
There is. But with a red smite, Jhin does have good, 1v1s versus Diana. And if the Diana is, 1v1ing you, then you can try and take some focus off of those big team fight ultimates. Maybe you can force out cooldowns from her early so they can't sync them up as well.
Yep, Crescent Guard is also the anti-Moonfall as well, because if you get ulted by the Diana, then you get to move everyone out again, theoretically, and split up that fight. The Braum going to come through as well here from Ming. Some more defensive capability. And if you don't have a wind wall, get the Unbreakable. You know, it's the battle of the walls. And I kind of like the idea.
The battle of the walls. Which one will hold the door stronger? Usually that's Braum. Braum also, because you're seeing so much hard engage, is the no-brainer, hard engage counter champion. He's so much about countering. The ultimate from Braum is a very good answer into Diana, Yasuo, Leona ultimates coming your way. As long as you can get those off and you get the Unbreakable up early. So pop Unbreakable, then pop your ultimate as they come in, and you can try and break up those.
What RNG have done as far as their composition gives them inherent strength in the early stages of the game as well. And we had a brief pause, but we did make it back. Unable to get some real podcasting time down, but maybe we'll have
But we've had so much coffee to wake up this morning.
I had only one cup, and that is not very much.
Wait a second, you're Australian. You're supposed to have triple that. Okay,
exactly.
So for the reference, though, I would like to inform everyone listening that his one cup, he had to ask special for 3 shots.
No, I was offered 3 shots because it was a larger flat white.
The barista did a double eyebrow raise as he took your order. Was like,
that's how I know I got my order right. If the barista doesn't do that with his eyebrows, I'm like, oh, did I get it wrong? Did I mess this up? I'm a bit confused. So thankfully we got the eyebrow raise.
Well,
and now
congratulations on your caffeine intake.
Thank you very much, Kobe.
And let's take a look at the defensive opening from RNG with the ward here on Raptors. But again, EG probably should not be doing too much crazy stuff early on. Just a ward of their own from Impact here. You always like to see this versus some of the more early game junglers who Raptor ward alerts you to where they're going to go after red buff or transition to the other side of the map. Gwen early on, not the strongest of laners, so Gangplank almost always will have priority there. Gangplank is turbo strong right now, able to make use of trial by fire early on. That passive
is just broken, dude.
It's so broken.
I don't know how it's still in the game. Do you know what it reminds me of?
You know why it's still in the game?
Start Udyr with the double proc of Tiger Stance. That's what it reminds me.
You know why it's still in the game? Because most people don't utilize it. I think that's the only reason.
We got another fight towards this bottom side. Danny potentially going to get stunned up here, but Gala not able to weave through the auto attack in time. Vulcan takes a fair bit of damage, and RNG walk away with a health lead, but it's not going to be the kills that we saw at this time in our last game.
Yeah, I do really like that trade for them, though. Getting it started early. As we mentioned, you've got double globals, and bottom lane is the hot spot for using those globals. So if they can make some early trades, get some health leads, and honestly, EG's bottom lane has been prone to dying a lot early on in the game. So every team in the tournament probably looking at bottom lane for EG as the area that they want to make plays on and try and get those kills early on. And it just so happens RNG well positioned with both solo laners being able to help out later if bottom lane here for RNG opens up their own opportunities.
Yep, not so fast, Danny, but he is going to avoid the Winter's Bite this time around. Way here towards the top side, likely to walk over a ward. So we do get that vision toggle, very, very nice, and Wei is going to be spotted. Tidies it up pretty quickly, but Impact will get all of that information.
Diana's coming.
Yeah,
interesting.
Inspired's making his way in.
Yeah, he's looking to fight it and counter it rather than just finish up on the full clear Krugs. Oh man, that's some good wasted time.
Yeah.
And by good, I mean good for RNG as far as the time that he is not clearing any camps there for Inspired. He transitions up towards the top side, then kind of hovers around mid.
Yeah, and you can see that the chickens are being taken by the bottom lane of RNG as well. Sorry, not the chickens, the crab. Collected, so it's double.
It's also an animal.
Stun. That is true.
So I'm right there with you.
Thanks, man.
Solidarity.
Every jungle camp becomes a chicken
of the
in my
river.
brain.
We'll call it chicken of the river.
You know what? It's your fault because you ate that boiled egg this morning, so I had chickens on the brain.
I've been told that tuna are the chicken of the sea. I have been given no explanation as to why that is, but I'm willing to run with it and say that scuttle crab is now chicken of the river.
Okay, fantastic. I haven't heard that one either, and I don't necessarily think that chickens and tuna have that much in common personally, but that's fine. If someone could let us know on Twitter or something like that, that would be absolutely fantastic.
And where does that come from? It doesn't matter because it results in RNG getting double scuttle crabs for themselves, and then Wei is able to transition over and finish up his Krugs on his side anyway. So Inspired because of the kind of hovering around mid and possible transition there.
Block there from Vulcan to allow Danny to go home, and he isn't going to be punished for it. I thought it was a little bit scary for a moment, but Gala decides that the minions are more tasty.
I love those types of plays, though, from the support willing to take a bit of damage, put himself in a little bit of danger. You get to live a little, some excitement, some adrenaline does pump there as you get slowed, but
and you're like, I'm so valuable!
Allowing your AD carry to get back, to get the purchase, and Danny, I do think Boots of Swiftness is pretty important for him to have more mobility and be able to deal with some of the slow if a Braum Q does land, because his cleanse is probably going to get a lot of work this game.
Yep.
Twisted Fate coming from mid lane pretty soon.
Not to mention Cannon Barrage as well in the later stages of the game. I think Danny's going to be in a much better standing with these Swiftness boots.
Even before the Twisted Fate level 6, they're going to make a regular rotation.
Yeah, Xiaohu and Wei on their way in. 4 members of RNG. They've only got 1 minion, though, and Vulcan's just going to throw up a thumbs up there, thanks to Rammus, and EG are going to be absolutely fine. Yeah, you can actually see the communication in action. As soon as Xiaohu left mid lane, Jojo's calling, hey, they're coming down, and Danny moved up on the minion wave. He took a little bit of extra damage for the trade, but then he got his grenade off on the entire back line and clears out the minion wave. So good communication by EG and movement and focus on the minion wave there from Danny to be able to get it down in time to avoid an early death, because that has been probably one of the biggest points for EG that they've been looking to improve on. Even in the LCS, it was a problem for them of dying
early on in the bottom lane, so they do avoid disaster number 1. Now Twisted Fate Ultimate will be available for Xiaohu though, and this is where I always love to highlight warding as the opponent of Twisted Fate around mid lane. So you can see which side they're going for.
Well, Cannon Barrage comes on in here as Impact throws down some needlework, looks to try and lock down Xiaohu, takes a lot of turret shots. Bin's going to go down though. First blood goes to the Gangplank, but it's answered immediately by the EG top laner.
Yeah, pretty good answer there from Impact, being able to get one back with multiple members coming on the gank. And it actually will result in EG having a bit of a power play now to get some vision back for themselves, with Xiaohu having to recall and Bin going down. They don't actually get they don't have any wards to lay down with their timing. So sometimes you're afforded an opportunity, and you're like, okay, we've got extra players, we can move into their jungle, but you don't have trinket wards this early on. So W was already used by Impact in the trade. That's why they went for this. And Impact still being able to get out flash from Xiaohu and getting the counter kill. Yes, he loses quite a bit of minions at the tower, but honestly, very good play as a weak side there from Impact as Gwen. Gwen getting some money early on is definitely quite nice for him, because he had been losing out a bit on CS. A big part of that difference is the big minion wave that just now died at the tower, but did get the kill money back. So now only being under 202 GP this early on with the extra gold generation of both GP and Twisted Fate, not too shabby.
No, definitely, absolutely fine. I've been very impressed by how Impact has been playing this whole tournament long. That is continuing here in this game so far. I did want to mention just the fact that I think that the Jhin pick is absolutely fantastic. There are other teams in the LCK that I've seen in the past that have had weaker bottom lanes, and they rely on Jhin. There is a certain skin in the game, I believe, for one of them. And they made the weak side Jhin work very, very well, and EG are emulating that quite nicely with, avoiding that dive early on. Didn't necessarily work as well on the top side of the map, but you saw the bottom lane doing its job very effectively.
It is resulting in that expected early lead for RNG that we were looking at, though, as big CS leads for both top lane and bottom lane for RNG. So Bin and Gala in pretty good spots there. Of course, Jojo is on the Yasuo, the one counter pick that EG have into the lane matchup there. Very good into Twisted Fate for the lane, so he's farming quite nicely for themselves. And Danny now getting opportunity to at least get some plate money for himself to get back up in trade for the Rift Herald. So again, it's kind of similar to last game, where the price tag on going for the Rift Herald is set at 1 turret plate and a minion wave pushed up by the enemy AD carry.
Yep.
And that is an acceptable price.
Yep, you take that. If it's 2 plates, then pretty much you get absolutely nothing.
You start to feel a little bad about your attempt there for the objective, but here are where we start to see the extra moves towards mid to try and play off of Yasuo ultimate. Vulcan is sitting on a ward, unfortunately for him and EG.
Yep, but Inspired's still going to be able to steal away some chickens, so that is still EG trading up here in this moment, even though Vulcan's looking a little bit silly, spending a whole bunch of time on that ward. Xiaohu's going to move on over and look to pick up a blue buff as EG push up and try and grab a little bit of damage onto this outer turret. Gala doing the same thing here on the bottom side, though, and he will claim a couple of plates, or at least the second one down here. Last one falling down a little bit earlier. But RNG, game plan's certainly working for now.
Yes.
As Jojopyun is able to pick up that first plate in mid.
It certainly is, and I'm getting pretty scared for the next play, because the next play is going to be a huge advantage for RNG. They've got Gangplank and Twisted Fate Ultimate ready to go.
Yep.
And I start to get very scared in games when Ezreal gets early money, because Ezreal is one of the champions that, even off of early items, can have a very big influence. We mentioned the double globals of the solo lanes, but you can even start to think of the ultimates from Gala as turning some of those topside skirmishes or other plays up there as well.
There's a trial by fire and a barrel on top of Impact. He just takes a bunch of his health bar and damage, but he will be all right.
Yep. Dragon number 1 finally picked up here, 10 minutes into the game. Not a super early dragon for stacking for RNG, but an uncontested one.
There is the opportunity for the first Cloud Soul of the Rumble stage, which I am extraordinarily happy about. Next one will be that Infernal, hoping that we don't get the Mountain or the Hextech Drake.
So are you being facetious right now, or do you actually like the Cloud Circles of speed?
Okay. Yeah, I love the extra runny.
That's what I was going to say. I actually love what it does to the Rift. The extra speed, just the circles around the buffs.
And it feels like everyone can run towards fights more easily as well, which I like a lot. As that is going to be the tower falling down on the bottom side of the map. RNG giving money to Gala.
Yeah.
It is something that they have been doing for a very long time and continues to give them more dividends. They don't need more because, of course, you know, economic references are a thing that are very easy to make if RNG's comp.
Yeah, very nicely woven in here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm still stuck, though, on
Do we call EG the Federal Reserve now? Like, they need to hike the interest rates in the mid-game, you know?
Pump it up. Get out of the housing market now. The interest rates are going up.
The bubble's gonna pop.
Take out your loan.
Where's Zoe when we need her?
The Cloud Souls, though, I'm just still stuck on this because I actually love the movement speed circle so much. You know, as a jungler, especially a farm jungler like Diana, it helps you farm faster by running between camps faster. So, little edge there.
Yeah, no, it's definitely good. I was talking to Nemesis about it, and he actually doesn't think that Cloud Soul is that bad at all. There's still a lot of people that don't really rate it too highly, but it was actually Azale that I was talking to last year, and he was like, it's awesome. No, exactly. And I think that Ocean Soul is probably the least impactful at this point in time. As Inspired looks for the cube, but doesn't quite find it. Solar Flare comes in, gets a little bit of a slow onto Gala. It's a fantastic ulti to come through from Ming, but can he keep himself alive? The Unbreakable is so powerful, but the curtains have been called. Ming has to flash. Impact staying in the fight for so long as the last breath comes down. Gala is burning and eventually gets stabbed, but it's a 1-for-1 at this point in the fight. Jojopyun, can he get the kill? No, as Xiaohu's going to be able to walk it off, and it's a double for the Xin Zhao.
That is so big for RNG because they also pushed bottom lane the whole time this is happening.
Man.
They won both sides of the map, Atlus. What a massive, massive win for RNG right there. Bin takes the whole bottom turret, and they win the team fight on the top side, even with the Diana Yasuo combo finding multiple members there. Because the fight started out so early onto Impact, they waited out the Gwen W and then forced Impact out of the fight. So much damage dealt to him. So EG, by the time they got their Diana Yasuo combo off, no other member of the team really able to add damage.
Yeah.
And so there wasn't that extra real threat that you're used to with Diana Yasuo combos on multiple members. There wasn't the extra damage, and RNG win both sides of the map in one play there. Bin now got a bunch of money. Top side was able to get a bunch of money and territory for themselves as well. But here it is. Harkin Shift avoids the ultimate initially, then Vulcan's kind of forced out with the early focus there. This is the W from Impact. He also absorbs the exhaust, but it's only one of the exhausts. The second exhaust used on Diana, and so they barely get one kill for EG here on the Gala. Meanwhile, it costs them everything. Jojo goes down. Diana as well. Impact forced out of the fight super low, and that was 5 members of EG, only 4 of RNG, so Bin gets paid, and he's got a Trinity Force, double Trinity Force power spike here for RNG with Ezreal and the Gangplank.
Yeah, this is absolutely huge for RNG. I loved their spacing in that last fight. You saw EG were desperate to try and get them stacked up, but Wei wasn't hit by the Moonfall. He was able to do free damage throughout it, and it was just navigated so expertly from RNG on the top side.
And even just the forethought from Xiaohu with the double exhaust for a team fight.
Yeah.
Like, double exhaust for an all-in team is so critical there. Ming with the defensive ultimate coming out early. A lot of time bought by the RNG 4-person squad.
Well, now a Destiny has been popped. Xiaohu just using it to get as much information as they can. Hasn't pressed the gate just yet, but isn't really going to worry about starting off too many fights. Just a bit of a ram in this mid lane.
Yeah.
MSI ram. I don't know. We usually call it a K ram.
Yeah, I mean
in the LCK, but it's not Korea. I guess they are in Korea, so maybe we can still call it a K ram. I don't know.
I love following Atlus thoughts here. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. What the heck?
I love following your arrows, Kobe.
Funny that it happened actually at the right time.
Yeah, it was beautifully done. You could have just said that you meant it. It would have been even better.
They have the setup here down by where I rest my hands usually for NA. So LEC setup.
I think you should have just played it off as being exactly what you wanted.
That was me following your thoughts, actually.
Yeah. No, it was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. You're indicating something about what was happening in Impact's player cam at that point in time. As the Drake is going to be taken here second for RNG, and it's not a Cloud Soul, so I'm quite upset.
That's just the Omega sponsor call out. Just
yeah, there we
the
go.
ad over and over.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, so RNG continue their stacking double dragons on top of what they just got. So this game, the first opening, 10 minutes are like, okay, this is according to the blueprint of the champ selects, where you're like, okay, early lead should go to RNG. But then that last fight, that has nothing to do with the blueprint, right? That is exceeding your expectations as far as the early leads that RNG should have. Now with double dragons plus a 5,000 gold lead at 16 minutes into the game, EG, they have to be so calculated at the next AoE fight that they want, because they still want another big AoE fight, kind of similar to G2 in the last game, where EG are scaling and do want to focus on those 5-on-5s. But Xiaohu, with the spellbook over to the extra exhaust, I really feel like that was just so big in winning them the game. The fact that they had, or that particular team fight, the fact that they had the second exhaust waiting for Diana, once Diana came in for that combo, you saw how low Gala got. With no exhaust there, he would have been instantly popped, and then
yeah, things could have been much better.
Maybe looks a bit better, but looking for those timings where Ming's exhaust is back up now, and that is definitely one of the biggest pieces of utility that they had. But also you look at Xiaohu on Twisted Fate as pick opportunity with Everfrost, Flash, and Stopwatch ready for him. You can go for the super aggressive ones.
Yeah, and he's all set up for all of that utility as well with the rapid fire cannon already completed. Xiaohu is able to get those longer range gold cards to lock anyone down that he wants to. But slight stall in how this game is moving forward, and it's about 5,000 gold. That happened in the last game, and it was a Diana Yasuo comp versus a Twisted Fate comp. I'm seeing a little bit of similarity here.
Yeah, I feel like, because I don't remember the exact timestamp, it was a bit later into the game to get to this point, and you can also see it in the indication of these comeback mechanics of objective bounties. This game is a bigger lead, a significantly bigger lead, as calculated by the game itself, with objective bounties showing up. Last game, objective bounties not showing up means not as far behind, with the extra dragons lending to that as well, because it does mean RNG have that threat constantly building. So EG have to dig themselves out of a bigger hole. They also do not have as crazy engaged, since they've got with the Gwen higher carry potential than Ornn, obviously, but not as big Ornn upgrade or AoE.
Yeah, they're not as all-in on the team fight, right? As Inspired going to try and get out of that. He's going to flash to get himself out of this one, as Jojopyun also seen by the Destiny, but not actually able to get in there. Decent solo player is going to come through, looking to try and lock down Xiaohu, but he goes golden to keep himself alive. The curtain call comes in, but it just doesn't look like it's doing enough. Wei eventually goes down, as now Gala is free hitting in the back of this fight. Impact is getting flashed on by Bin, as the E will connect. Impact still looking to try and get out of there. Vulcan's very dead, but I don't think RNG can get too much more in this fight. A 2 for 3 in favor of RNG.
Yeah, Impact going to run out to the top side. RNG getting a bunch of kills here, but not really going to be able to capitalize on the extra map presence. Jhin just going to push mid for EG here. Meanwhile, we get the recall off there for Impact. Okay, Bin will be able to, especially with Demolish, probably finish off the outer tower. So RNG,
and all of the items that he has.
Yes, very big early lead for him. In addition to the extra kill, they also will get the objective of the top tower. So big opportunity here for RNG to now do a follow-up play, because they will have a big spread map. And here, nice catch onto Inspired, and getting so much out of him early. What they wanted here for EG, they're talking about out of knockup here. They want to get a combo off. They barely are able to get the Yasuo ult onto Xiaohu, but he just flashes out to the top side. And then Jhin plus Impact get 2 back for themselves, but it's not going to be a one fight. With the lead that RNG got off of picking on Diana early and getting so much health off Diana, means that they get to take away the big threat there from EG.
Impact's going to get slowed. He does manage to get some bounty gold here, as the Rift Herald does manage to take down the turret, but now Impact is in so much trouble. Gwen still likely to take damage, standing inside that circle. Of course, Chronicle calling us out because everyone says that Gwen is immune, so we're going to do our very best not to say that.
Well, she was not immune there because they're inside.
Exactly. So I was saved. I was saved.
Have to bring it up.
But if it does happen again, we'll do our very best not to say it. Sorry, Chronicler.
Oh my goodness. RNG doing such a good job snowballing here, though, because remember during the replay, we're like, okay, that was a pretty good win for RNG. They get an extra kill and they get an objective. But what about the next play? You know, and it's, again, right as we get back out, it's a pick before Dragon. So Dragon number 3 picked up lickety split here.
Very comfortable.
This is a saying I have never used before, but I wanted to get in. I thought about it for a second.
Is a great one. What's that from? It was from a very old book from Lickety Split. It's a gingerbread man?
Watch it has like some really like dark connotations.
Yeah, probably. It is like an old nursery rhyme.
Like, hey, that actually has.
Kobe, that was very inappropriate. Please don't say lickety split, even though it is a colloquialism.
But it sounds like some
fast.
weird like candy cane saying or something. Or like that's some children's game or something. I don't know.
I mean, it is a gingerbread man saying, so
yeah,
theoretically you are correct. We don't need to talk about it too much more, though, because as you were talking about, RNG managed to extend that lead a little bit further. They've also grabbed sole possession of Soul Point. No dragons taken for EG, so if you're comparing it to the snowball that T1 were trying to do at this stage in the last game, this one's looking a little bit more dire.
A lot better,
yeah. Diana Yasuo
a lot better for RNG here. Obviously, Bin is one of the super fed members. Let's see how he fares in a 1v3.
Yeah, Cannon Barrage comes in. That Solar Flare went very, very wide as the needlework's coming through. Bin trying to survive, and he isn't going to be able to impact. Survives with a sliver of health, so it's a successful dive towards that bottom side of the map.
Yeah, calculated, not even close. Honestly, that's very big for EG, though, because they need to get any sort of income like that to make a comeback. And because there are objective bounties, the one positive of being more behind Atlus and having more work to do is that the catch-up mechanics for the objectives here are going to be in their favor.
It was a strategic loss of the early game. I like it.
Yes. That's never true, by the way. You never want to have a scenario where you're slingshotting back into a game by objective bounties. Maybe there's a super duper rare case where you time it perfectly.
If you got like an on-pale composition or something like that.
Here's one thing I have toyed around with is that if your towers are still standing but very low, the game doesn't calculate that. So if the towers are left up but with very low health, then you have standing gold that you can pick up very quickly. So if you get behind, but then win like a team fight and take like 3 outer towers because they're all one hit, then
you set up the dominoes of the towers. I like it. And because it doesn't calculate, like recalculate the bounties. So if you take all 3 at the same time, it's like
you've got 5 minutes. You've got 5 minutes to rush as many as you can.
Well, EG are rushing the Baron right now. Destiny comes through from Xiaohu. Curtains being called here. It's Pin taking a lot of damage. It's not even a flip because they couldn't get inside the pin. It's going to be the Yasuo once again that locks down the Baron. Yasuo will fall in the end as Pin locks down that kill. But can EG complete the heist is the question. Moonfall comes on in, inspired, fair bit of damage there. He will go down, but can they keep these Barons alive? Just barely with the empowered recall. Will they make it out? So 3 Barons alive here for EG with an 800 Red Bull Baron power play so far.
Yeah, and we'll see what RNG can get on the map while those death timers are there for EG. But it is a big play for EG. Again, the objective bounties are bigger on neutral objectives. So not only do you get Baron, you get it off the map for RNG. Yeah. They can't take it now. Plus you get your 500 base plus extended gold bounty there. So that's another gold bounty, objective bounty picked up for EG, even though they give up 1 turret in the aftermath and those 2 kills. Because Jojo and Inspired buy time for their teammates to get their recalls off, it is definitely worth it for EG to just rush this down and try and make their comeback. So they get the objective bounty. Jojo knows he's caught inside the pit, so he instantly gets blown up. But then Inspired makes the call here. I'm not going to scramble. I'm going to buy time for you guys to get your recalls off. And so the other 2 Baron-empowered recalls, barely getting off in time, are very critical for them to get their defenses up so their minion waves can get Baron-empowered and they don't give up more turrets to RNG during those death timers. So EG fighting their way back into this game, as they have done so many times in the LCS. See if they can actually complete on the international stage a comeback. We have now done away with the objective bounties. That means they've made up enough ground to not be considered so egregiously far behind. And now you can actually just transition the benefits of having the Gwen over the Ornn.
Yeah, we were going to mention this, the side laning power.
Exactly, are that you can go for that split push to a more effective manner.
And also, they can try and deny this soul point as well. 20 seconds until that one is available. I believe the Baron will be up for them. Yes, another minute's time before that one is gone. We'll see whether EG can utilize it as Solar Flare comes on in. Great unbreakable from Ming, but they still manage to land the triple knock-up. Gala taken down immediately. Inspired goes gold, and the curtains have been called, and this time it is for RNG as they're now routed underneath their turret. Wei is so extraordinarily low, but will not fall. This should mean that EG can get towards this Drake, but no! Impact is going to be taken down. Xiaohu able to lock down that kill, and that is actually going to change a lot with how this exchange went.
Huge stopwatches for RNG. They get just close enough to their tower that EG, with a very good call to try and get their engage there, because of the extra tower damage and the double stopwatches coming out of RNG, they bought enough time. And Wei living there, so critical for them. Everybody else able to push them off. Once Bin arrives, EG know that they can no longer chase. That they've gone a little bit too far there, and RNG get the punish.
It looked so good for EG throughout most of that fight, but then it just wasn't quite enough damage.
Yeah, not quite enough to finish it off, and it being just close enough to the tower there for RNG that Yasuo, with that dive inspired as well as Jojo, were under tower range, and so they go down to extra tower damage during these stopwatches. Let's take a look here, because they do get Gala with the initial Leona stun, and so they're saying, look at Gala, we can get him. They get the Jojo ult combination with inspired onto him, and even though the exhaust is down on Diana ultimate, they dive the tower looking for Yasuo. Then the stopwatch from Inspired puts the aggro over onto Jojo, so Jojo's dead. But then Wei stopwatch plus flash plus the magic damage shield from his Hex Drinker keeps him alive and allows RNG to get the soul. So what looked like possibly a good engage there, you know, with the Baron buff for EG off of what we are setting up as their possible comeback, turns into perfect team fight for RNG. They get soul, they get the extra kills. Guess what?
It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, they're right back into the driver's seat here for RNG. With the extra shield, does so much versus a comp that wants to instantly hard engage on you with Diana Yasuo. That makes a Diana Yasuo combo so much less effective, knowing that you're going to have to burst through a shield on top of it. And
all the extra stats as well. Not to mention that, you know, Ming's going to be even more bothersome in that front line.
And Ezreal is one of the AD carries that can actually make use of defensive stat multipliers there. With Frozen Heart now coming in for Gala, they already kind of struggled through the exhaust to burst him down.
Well, another Solar Flare will come in here as it's some chain CC onto Wei, but he barely goes below half health. And the Everfrost from over the wall, Jojopyun taking a lot of damage. Curtains have been called. Cannon Barrage out of the way there for the Jhin, as Gala is going to tank up one of those bullets, but honestly, they're just not doing enough damage, especially with this Mountain Soul here. And RNG should win this war of attrition, looking to take down this outer turret in the mid lane that's standing in their way.
Yep, they are going to push right in. Another objective, this one earned without blood loss for themselves. At no point were they worried about the ensuing team fight right there. They were all pretty good position, very well spread out, nobody even getting below 50% HP. But EG, kind of on the edge there. You know, Jojo got his shield bow popped, and they were feeling a bit risky, so they pop a lot more cooldowns in the exchange and still give up the objective. Guess what? Those objective bounties are back, Atlus.
Ooh, they've made a return. Well, there is a very low health turret in the mid lane. Perhaps they were listening to you, Kobe. This is how you're supposed to play it, everyone. Well, I've learned this today.
The problem is, and especially the disclaimer, just so people know that, you know, sarcasm hard to pick up on sometimes. It's
yes, I apologize.
Not actually recommended. Just to be clear too, the comeback opportunities are almost always focused on that mid game. When you have objective bounties in the late game, they're actually kind of pitiful. You know, it doesn't really have the leverage that it does in the mid game, because gold means so much more there. And so with the power of a Mountain Soul already acquired for RNG, they are so well situated, especially with the ability to push multiple lanes with Decisive and Gangplank, to just push in all lanes.
Oh, Danny. Xiaohu's going to find the gold card, and yeah, they've got enough CC. They'll lock down the Jhin, just caught walking through his own jungle. And that means that Baron should go over to RNG here. It's 2.5 minutes until the Elder Drake is going to be available. And now RNG will be able to put so much pressure into these side lanes. Impact's trying to do what he can there on the bottom side of the map, but RNG a little bit too fast. There is some bounty gold, I guess, as Xiaohu now thinking about whether he has to flash to get over this wall. He goes golden first, as the Cannon Barrage is there after he's bought so much extra time. You can see Bin just wandering around this fight. Eventually does go down, but it's a trade. Jojopyun going to be taken next, as now RNG are just knocking down the dominoes one after the other. Gala hops over the wall and picks up the kill on Impact. It's another stun and it's another kill. That's the ace for RNG, and they are in so much control of this game.
And the instant teleport from Xiaohu. He's not going to waste any time with this Baron buff. push down top lane. It's him versus Danny here for the inhibitor. Can he get in some damage here on the inhibitor tower? All he has to do is clear the minion wave and then Baron empower the minions, and the minions will slowly work away while the rest of the team works all 3 minion waves. Again, you see, all right, since we have time, and this game is pretty decided, we could try and actually use this. Yeah, really good arrows there. There we go. Beautiful stuff, honestly. Now, how do you clear it there? Boom.
Whoa, you're really good. I can do some stuff as well. Do you
okay, let's pushing 3 lanes way better now, right?
Yeah, no, I completely understood. Let's have a look at this replay, though, at the Rebel Baron power play. That was just not even necessary at this stage, as RNG just bait them into a fight that they knew they could win. EG know their chances of winning are so low that they're trying to throw big haymakers that have low percentage chance to actually work. So they just go all in on it. They were trying to split push, get those objectives down to get some bounties, and they got the mid turret, but as you say, only got the 1 kill on Bin, and everybody else you know is going to get chased down after that. Yeah. But by the same token, they're so far behind that with Baron buff and Mountain Soul, when RNG come knocking at your door, you're going to either lose slowly or go out swinging and try and get some objective bounties back. Maybe you get your pick off and you can get some kind of crazy scrap going on. 3v1 attempt. We'll see whether Bin can eat oranges and BKs. The Cannon Barrage not necessarily doing the most work, but oh my god, Vulcan just evaporates. Xiaohu now seems to have found Inspired, or has Inspired found Xiaohu? It's a lot of damage as they just kill each other. As the dust settles, True Shot Barrage sails by majestically as RNG now barrel down the mid lane, looking to end this game. Impact is here. There are a couple of respawns coming in for EG as Gwen is unable to be damaged whilst inside that circle. Yeah, the problem for them is that Gala is unable to be damaged while he's got Braum in front of him. And Gala is so threatening right here. Yeah, he's so tanky just in his own right,
with
as well
his
as that Frozen Heart is already finished, plus the Mountain Soul on top of it. Oh, man.
Yeah, definitely very difficult. If you don't have the Diana Yasuo combo ready for Gala, like, it's so hard to deal with this Ezreal. The range is really long. We'll take a look at it here as EG trying 3.
Yeah, they're looking for it. Decent stun there onto Gala, but he cleanses to get himself out of the way. Jojopyun does break his stopwatch to keep himself alive. Good knockups, though, as Wei looking to tank what he can. The Tornado is going to go wide as Danny finds the curtains onto Ming. Now Gala's trying to fight this one out 1v4 and isn't doing too badly at this point in time, you have to say, but still, it is a good pick-off here for EG.
Yeah, you got to count every blessing if you're EG right now. They're going for the reset, though. Pretty low health bar on Jojo, as well as the reset going on for Impact. He's got Unleashed Teleport. This is it for EG. Can they make a 5v4 play? Ming down for 20 seconds. Elder Dragon up. They're going to force it.
Yeah. We got Vision being cleared out here from Gala. He's got some Honey Fruit if he wants it, as the Elder Drake has been started. Xiaohu off on the flank, not going to get stunned up this time around. Solar Flare, Arcane shifted by Gala to get him out of the way. Vulcan, oh my god, taking so much damage from these barrels from Bin. He puts 2 in the ground already. The Diana Yasuo combo, the first ones to go there, but the shutdown comes through. Immediately answered as Wages audaciously charges on top of the Scissor Lady. And there is the kill on the Jhin. They tried so hard, but RNG will win the fight in the end and look to take the game. Yeah. That's a big barrel crit, Kobe.
It's also satisfying noise to hear that cash in.
Yeah.
RNG will also remain undefeated here at MSI.
Absolutely fantastic. RNG, another MSI winner of the past, back to get another trophy, and so far, no one has been able to stop them. EG joining that list. Amazing performance here in this game in very similar compositions that we saw in game 1 of the day, but just a little bit more control throughout for RNG.
And the Bin Gangplank coming back to haunt. Definitely a massive carry threat. Whenever Bin showed up to the team fight and you start to get those barrel chains popping on people, even just a Q, even just a parlay on someone's face, definitely massive for RNG. Nice opening game for them. EG gonna have to take that one back, and as you said, due to the MSI theme, take some notes.
They are gonna have to take some notes. That is exactly right. But I did like the idea. You know, once again, it's going to be that Diana Yasuo answer to the Twisted Fate. It worked for G2 the first time around, and there were hints of how it could have worked for EG in this game, but I think there was enough adjustment, enough adaptation in the draft for RNG to answer what those threats do. The anti-dive of a Braum, the anti-dive of a Xin Zhao were easily enough, especially when you can pivot, right? Braum becomes a pick champion as well if you can play around